the religious leaders portray the American founding fathers as universally Christian, they are being downright fucking dishonest, because it's not fucking true. There were some Christians, to be sure, but many, perhaps most of the founding fathers, were deists. They believed that God may have created the universe, but he either died or went away after that. For example, I'll give you an example. Thomas Jefferson once wrote, "All religions are alike, founded on fables and myths." He was also a staunch supporter of the separation of church and state. History, I believe, furnishes no example of a priest-ridden people maintaining a free civil government. And that's infringing on our lives right now. Benjamin Franklin wrote in his Poor Richard's Almanac, "Lighthouses were more helpful than churches, and the way to see by faith is to shut the eye of reason." James Madison, another founding father, you Christians, said, "During almost 15 centuries has the legal establishment of Christianity been on trial. What has been its fruits? More or less, in all places, pride in the clergy, ignorance and servility in the laity. In both, superstition, bigotry, and persecution. Even George Washington was a lukewarm supporter of religion at best, putting his support behind human reason and education. Quote, "There is nothing which can better deserve our patronage than the promotion of science and literature. Knowledge is in every country the surest basis of public happiness." I mean, I can go on and on. We're on 90 minutes right now. We're on an hour and a half. And I tell you what, I'm going to keep going. You can cut this shit off whenever you want to, but, now I'm just getting irritated. First of all, the Pledge of Allegiance, Christians, didn't contain the words "under God" until Congress voted to include that in 1954. It is not one nation under God. That was during the McCarthy era. The purpose was to distinguish the U.S. from the godless communist, and in doing so, clearly violated the constitutionality, established separation of church and state. McCarthy was later revealed as a zealous, opportunist, liar, and a fraud. One must ask, why is his legacy still recited daily in our nation's schools? If you want to see what a Constitution would look like if it was really dedicated to God, then just do a search for and read the Iranian Constitution. That. No. I had Mark ask me, in a roundabout way, what have you got against religion? Well, Mark, to begin with, it's stupid. It splits all of humanity into warring factions. Religious beliefs were the cause and the justification for, the Spanish Inquisition. Let's just name off a few. The Spanish Inquisition, the Crusades, the Divine Right of Kings, witch trials in Europe and America, the slavery, the dehumanization of other religions, believers and non-believers, the subjugation of women, the refusal of some parents to give medical treatment to their children, relying instead on prayers and faith healers. We just had a big story in the news right now that some people just let their kid die because they were praying for him. I hope they fucking get the chair. I hope somebody beats them over the head with a fucking baseball bat. You fucking sick fucks. How about the decades of violence between Jews and Muslims in the Middle East? The decades of violence between Catholics and Protestants in Northern England? Capital crimes against women health centers? The 9/11 tragedy? A true faith-based act, and the subsequent war on terror. The suppression of science, and indeed the suppression of reason itself. What do I have against religion? Thinking is frowned upon. Even from the beginning, the original sin itself comes from a man eating from the tree of knowledge. And that's just a little thing. Do a web search. Mark, do a web search for religious atrocities. You'll be reading for years. I don't know. I think the religion teaches us that the earth is put here for our disposal. We could use it up, trash it. It's okay. Besides, Jesus is coming back shortly to put it into it anyway, right? There is no global warming, right? You fucking Republican idiots. There's no global warming. Even though our scientists can prove it, there's not. Religion teaches us that we're all born tainted with sin, impure and dirty. We must spend our entire lives trying to make up for the sins of the first humans. When religious leaders answer all of our questions for us, we lose our own natural curiosity. We are left acting as, automatons, going through the routine activities like robots. I think religion stymies the wonder of nature. It's not nature that is wonderful when we give the Great Father all the credit for creating it in all its wonder. That makes any sense. I think further religion teaches us that certain areas of nature are off limits. For example, stem cell research. Now, a bunch of Christians got together and decided, well, that's not right. And you fucking Christians keep on with it. Stem cell research has a great potential for reducing human suffering and disease. It is being defunded by the federal government. Parts of it, anyway. The creation of the universe, no less of a person, the Pope has told us that we should not study the Big Bang because it should be left in the domain of God. Evolution, the study of the descent of man, would be outlawed if we gave the religious right half a chance. I mean, every year sees new laws, suits being introduced to an attempt to get the teaching of evolution banned from our schools. Also, it redirects hundreds of billions of dollars in man-made hours away from productive pursuits. Religion is directly responsible for the bilking of millions of dollars from the old and infirm. Religion teaches that morality is rigid and unchanging rather than subject to changing circumstances. Its supernatural foundation keeps millions, if not billions, of people in educational and cultural stagnation. If societies believe that they cannot find the answers to all of life's questions in their holy books, why study anything else? That's what they think. People pray rather than seek legitimate medical attention for illnesses for themselves and their children. Christian Science practitioners are actually paid by insurance companies to pray for the recovery of the sick and infirm under their care, as opposed to actually giving them minimal medical treatment. Most religions tell you that your life on earth is infinitesimally small compared to that which awaits you in heaven. So why even bother trying to do anything but praise God while you're on earth? I mean, come on. It can't be conducive to good mental health to have an all-powerful judge of right and wrong watching your every move and reading your every thought, ready to cast you into hell forever for the slightest fucking infraction. You can easily see that this could lead directly to paranoia. I think it defines fucking paranoia. In war, religion teaches us that there is no reason to try to quickly end it. After all, God's on your side, and all the fallen soldiers are going to heaven anyway since they are fighting a holy cause. I think, and finally, if we accept religion's version of human history, we are denying our own true history. The actual human story. Homo sapiens have endured for 150,000 years, not 6,000. We have survived global catastrophes and have battled the Neanderthal for human supremacy of this planet. We have fought the mighty mammoth, the mastodon, and the saber-toothed tiger. And in spite of this, and in spite of being constantly plagued by superstition and religion, we have managed to develop reason and a scientific method to a finely honed tool for examining and explaining the universe around us. Question from a guy named Quinn. So why do you do your broadcast? Why do you tell people have false hope? Why do you want to take the hope away from them? Well, Quinn, there's three reasons, I think. First reason is I want to give an atheist perspective, because I think most of the time Christians or anybody that believes in any kind of deity looks at us as atheists and goes, well, yeah, you just don't understand us. I don't understand anything. We're the easiest fucking people to live with. We go right, we do what we're supposed to do, we love the world, and that's it. I don't know. Many religious leaders are engaged in a constant disinformation campaigns aimed at painting atheists as, I don't know, immoral, God haters, if not outright Satan worshipers. Most religion, I don't know, most religious leaders know that it's a fucking lie. We're not Satan worshipers. We don't eat babies at night. But they say it anyway. I mean, how many times have I heard Christians confide that it's okay to tell a lie as long as it brings more people to Christ? We're talking about breaking a commandment here, people. But it's apparently okay as long as the end justifies the means. The second reason, really, my thing is people all over the world are starting to doubt the veracity of their religion. I only wish there had been such a resource that I could go and could have listened to whenever I doubted mine. I did it the hard way. I had to read and read and read and read and read and read and read about how much none of this made sense. And I had to have inner conflict, and I had to think that I was pretty much alone. Not really alone, but there's nobody I can talk to about it. Everybody I knew were freaking Christians. I wish that there was something I can go to, ask questions, say, what do you think? What's going on? Tell me what your opinion of this is, because I have an opinion. It would have been less painful, To get people to think, this is my third reason, to get people to think just a little bit. Many people just go day to day believing that whatever their religious leaders tell them, that whatever happens is just God's will, and that there is no other way to think about the world and the universe. Think! The universe is just as gorgeous, just as wondrous, and without an all-powerful, judgmental God watching our every move and monitoring our every thought, I would say it is even more so. It is even more beautiful every fucking day I look at it. Because I know I don't have much time to look at it. 85, 90 years, something like that. I wish we could live longer. That's what brings up religion as a whole. We realize that life passes us so fast. I'm 43 years old now, and I distinctly remember being 23 and going, man, I'm young, and realizing now every day, God damn, I'm 43. Are you kidding me? I'm 43? Because the days are shorter and shorter. It's short. And it disturbs me that people waste their lives worshiping something when they should be worshiping the world and nature and making things better for future generations, not just knowing in the back of their mind, well, God's going to be back one day and it doesn't matter how we leave the world. This world suffers from pollution, global warming, deforestation. It suffers from disease. It suffers from everything that is very easily cured. But there's a part of us that just doesn't care, because the religious people and the people that are power think, well, as long as we're good right now, everything is good later, because, even if we all die, then we're just either, we'll be okay because we believe in God. Wow. I don't know. I can't live with that. I'm going to take a 3-minute and 58-second break, and I'm going to... I found this on the internet. This is a telephone call. And this is a telephone call of a guy, Ned, and you've heard him here before. And he's calling Catholic Town. Now, Catholic Town is a Catholic place. I believe it's in Florida. And you have to be Catholic to live there. You can buy property, which from what I hear is quite expensive, but you have to be Catholic. You have to be Catholic. And Ned calls him up and is inquiring about Catholic tax.